Malcolm Myers. The soot and ash released by a regional nuclear war would result in global cooling of up to 10 degrees. That is equivalent to the last ice age, as stated by Tilman A. Ruff, a professor at the School of Population and Global Health, University of Melbourne, in the Journal of Public Health Policy, U.S. National Library of Medicine, published in May 2022. Everyone in this room would be affected by global cooling of that degree. The existential threat of nuclear weapons is too dangerous to justify their existence. First, I will talk about the impact of nuclear war. Second, I will talk about the increasing threat of a nuclear war occurring. And finally, I will talk about the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons and its attempts to ban nuclear weapons. Now I will talk about the impact of nuclear war. Joshua Koop, a professor at the Department of Environmental Sciences, Rutgers University, in the Journal of Geophysical Research Atmospheres, published in 2019, states that an all-out nuclear war between Russia and the US would result in 150 teragrams of soot and ash being released into the atmosphere. 1 teragram is equal to 1 billion kilograms. This amount of soot and ash would result in global cooling that would lead up to below freezing temperatures during the summer in the northern hemisphere. 5 teragrams of soot is all that's required to completely destroy the ozone layer. Now, in a nuclear war between Pakistan and India, who have some of the fastest growing nuclear arsenals, there could be upwards of 100 million deaths, and 2 billion people would be in critical danger of starvation from crop destruction. Now that I've talked about the impact of a nuclear war, I will talk about the increasing threat of nuclear war. According to William M. Moon, a senior research scientist at the University of Maryland Center of the Study of Terrorism and Response to Terrorism, in the Journal of Peace and Nuclear Disarmament, published in February 2020, states that none of the 9 nuclear-armed countries are currently disarming. In fact, global spending in the year 2022 on the research and development of nuclear weapons was $72.6 billion. Furthermore, Russia, China, and the US are all investing in hypersonic missiles, which are deadly because they have the possibility of bypassing current missile defense systems. The US has invested $1 billion annually in the research and development of such missiles. Now that I've talked about the increasing threat of nuclear war, I will talk about the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. 86 countries have signed the treaty, and 57 countries have ratified it. The treaty sets out to ban nuclear weapons. It became a legal entity January 22nd, 2021, when the 50th state had ratified it. Before then, nuclear weapons were the only weapon of mass destruction not banned by an international treaty. And as more states continue to ratify the treaty, it grows in legal, political, and moral power. First, I covered the impact of a nuclear war. Second, I discussed the increasing threat of nuclear war. And finally, I discussed the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. The existential threat of nuclear weapons is too dangerous to justify their existence. If we do not eliminate nuclear weapons, they may very well eliminate us in a cloud of soot and ash.
412.